Next reporter, Ambrosio Andrea.
Good day everyone, I'm Andrea Ambrosio and today I'll explain how to distinguish between problems you can fix with training and those you can't. Performance analysis, analyzing current employees' training needs. What is performance analysis? Performance analysis is the process of verifying that there is a performance deficiency and determining whether the employer should correct such deficiencies through training or some other means, like transferring the employee. In other words, performance analysis is the technique of studying or comparing the performance of a specific situation in contrast to the aim and yet executed. In human resource, performance analysis can help to review an employee's contribution towards a project or assignment which they allotted to him or her. So, in performance analysis, there's the word deficient performance. So, what is deficient performance or performance deficiency? It is that which is less than satisfactory or unsatisfactory and a performance that needs improvement. So here's several ways to identify how a current employee is doing. First, performance appraisals. Performance appraisals are used to review the job performance of an employee over some period of time. These reviews are used to highlight both strengths and weaknesses in order to improve future performance. Second, job-related performance data is the raw observation and measurements identified during activities performed to carry out the project work, including productivity, absenteeism, and tardiness, grievances, waste and late deliveries, product quality, downtime, repairs, equipment utilization, and customers' complaints. Third, observations by supervisor or other specialists. It involves gathering information and making an informed judgment. Fourth, interviews with the employee or his or her supervisor. It is an important factor when hiring someone. Next is tests of things like job knowledge, skills, and attendance. This step is the assessment tools and procedures that organizations commonly use to conduct personnel assessment. Attitude surveys. It seeks to understand and evaluate the consumer's attitude towards a particular product or service or idea. This helps the company obtain insights related to the different attitudinal aspect of consumers toward the product, service, or category. Next, individual employee daily diaries is a pragmatic way of documenting your performance in detail, highlighting successes, setbacks, and new opportunities. It can become an invaluable resource for managing your productivity and professional development. Next, assessment center results. It is the results and evaluation of the performance of the assesses on the dimensions or other variables. Last, special performance gap analytical software. It is designed to facilitate the analysis of qualitative data. The gap analysis tools can use document which services or functions have been accidentally left out, which have been deliberately eliminated, and which still need to be developed. Why is performance down is the heart of performance analysis? Because they spend time training inefficient employees when the problem isn't training but weak motivation. So here's the can't do problems. Don't know what to do or what your standards are. There are obstacles in the system such as lack of tools or supplies, because no matter how skilled an employee may be, she or he will never be able to function at full capacity if there is a lack of tools holding them back. There are no job aids, such as color-coded wires that shows assemblers which wire goes where. You've hired people who haven't the skills to do the job. Inadequate training. It refers to any training that does not meet the company's needs, both in terms of quantity and quality. And here's the won't do problem. Employees could do a good job if they wanted to. So, what is the difference between the word can't and won't? So when somebody can't do something, it's because he or she lacks the skill to do it. But when somebody won't do something, it's because he or she lacks the will to do it, and there is no such way that training can fix it. Perhaps the training just won't fix it. For instance, the solution may be change the reward system. Overall, the solution can possibly fix with training is the change the reward system so that the employees could have a better motivation to improve their performances. Designing the training program. It is the planning of the overall training program, including training objectives, delivery methods, and program evaluation. It includes summaries of how you plan to set a training environment that motivates your trainees both to learn and to transfer what they learn to the job. At this design stage that the manager reviews possible training program content and estimates a budget for the training program. Setting learning objectives. Training, development, or more generally instructional objectives should specify in measurable terms what the trainee should be able to accomplish after successfully completing the training program. The learning objectives you choose should address rectifying the performance deficiencies that you identified with need analysis. Last, the objectives should focus on ensuring they get the knowledge, skills, and attitudes they need to boost the sale.
For the next topic, we have Aguilar, Crystal May.
Hello everyone, my name is Crystal Aguilar, and what I'm going to tackle about is creating a motivational learning environment. Many books have been written about how to motivate employees, but several specific observations are pertinent here. Effective skill training always starts trainings not with lectures, and making it more meaningful and resourceful rather than boring. There are also constraints that needs to be considered, like making learning objectives from 3 to 4 down to 2 to 1. Ideally, for larger programs, top management should visibly support the program. From behavior modification, we know that the training should provide opportunities for positive reinforcement. Expectancy theory shows us that the trainees need to know they have the ability to succeed in the program, and that the value to them of completing the program is high. Because how could a first timer or even an adapted to work field could possibly succeed in enhancing skills and knowledge without someone to support and not believing in themselves? They should feel and have confidence while in the training that they could pass that training. We can summarize such motivational points as follow. First, making the learning meaningful. Learners are always more motivated to learn something that has meaning for them. Therefore, at the start of training, provide a bird's eye view of the material that you are going to present. For example, show why it's important and provide an overview like using a variety of familiar examples or even organizing the information so you can present it logically and in meaningful units. Use terms and concepts that are already familiar to trainees for them to better understand and relate to some learning materials that they know they can better comprehend. Use as many visual aids as possible because words are words. It is different from something that you can visualize and see, and it also helps add more ideas when the trainees could see something. An idea may pop up to their head and they could relate to it. Again, create perceived training need in trainees' minds. Ideally, those who undergo training are more efficient than those who only learn it by words. People learn more by experiencing it than by hearing it from others who has more experience. Similarly, before the training, managers need to sit down and talk with the trainee about why they are enrolled in that class, what they are expected to learn, and how they can use it on their job. Second, making skills transfers obvious and easy. Make it easy to transfer new skills and behavior from the training side to the job site. Maximize the similarity between training situation and the work situation. Meaning, make it as realistic from the training so that the trainees would not be culture shocked when they are already in the work field or in that certain kind of situation. Provide adequate practice or demo it so that they know how to do it righteously. Label or identify each feature of the machine and or step in the process for them to know what feature is this for or how to use this one. Direct the trainee's attention to important aspects of the job. For example, if you're training a customer service representative to handle calls, explain the different types of calls he or she will encounter for them to prepare and be aware of what mostly the calls they would receive and what is the right process of the call handling or what's the call flow. Provide heads up information. For example, supervisors often face stressful conditions. You can reduce negative impact of such events by letting supervisory trainees know they might occur and comfort them by saying that unusual or negative event always occur unexpected, so better prepare for it. Trainees may learn best at their own pace. If possible, let them pace themselves. Do not push them right away to do this or that because the pressure of learning something might overwhelm them and it could leave them to be uninteresting and proceeding with the training. Third, reinforcing the learning. Make sure the learner gets plenty of feedback. In particular, trainees learn best when the trainers immediately reinforce correct response. Perhaps, with a quick well done, trainers should praise and provide them the knowledge wherein they are good with this one and they should work on where they lack of. For feeling appreciated of the efforts that you make can make you motivated to do it right the second time or even the third one. The schedule is important. Feeding your mind in one whole day can overwhelm all the knowledge that you learn and make it forget all of this for your mind is already exhausted with the learnings that you took. It is important to know them little by little each day. Provide the follow-up assignments at the close of training. Having to practice it on your own makes it more effective so we can be prepared when we are going to do it already. Fourth, ensuring transfer or learning to the job. Unfortunately, less than 35% of trainees seem to be transferring what they learned in training to their jobs a year after the training. Prior to training, get trainee and supervisor input in designing the program. Institute a training attendance policy and encourage employees to participate. During training, provide trainees with training experiences and condition surroundings or equipment that resemble the actual work environment. After training, reinforce what trainees learned, for instance, by appraising and rewarding employees for using new skills, and by making sure that they have the tools and materials they need to use in their new skills. Fifth, other training design issues. Managers, managers address several other issues during the training design stage. Most importantly, they review relevant alternative training methodologies, lectures, web-based, and so on, and choose likely methods for their program. They also decide how they will organize various training contents components and choose how to evaluate the program, developing an overall summary plan for the program and obtain management approval to move ahead. Developing the program means actually assembling or creating the program training content and materials. It means choosing the actual content in the program they will present, as well as designing or choosing the specific instructional methods such as lectures, cases, web-based that you will use. Training equipments and materials include, for example, iPads, workbooks, lectures, PowerPoints, slides, web and computer-based activities, course activities, trainer resources, and support materials. Some employers create their own training content, but there is also a vast selection of online and offline content from which to choose. Once you design, approve, and develop the program, management can implement and then evaluate it. Implements means to actually provide the training using one or more of the instructional methods, such as lectures that we discuss next. We address program evaluation at the end of this chapter. That is all for my report. Thank you for listening.
To discuss the next topic, we have Cinto Adrienne.
Implementing training programs with the objective to train employees to improve their work-related skills and to improve the workforce of the company. Here are the training techniques. We'll start with simpler, low-tech methods and proceed to computer-based ones. On-the-job training, a practical approach to acquiring new competencies and skills needed for a job in a real or close to real working environment. It is often used to learn how to use a particular tools or equipment in a live work practice. The Philippine system of higher education normally, at the third or fourth year of college students are required to have the OJT at a certain firm or a company before graduating. Types of OJT. We start with coaching. Coaching or counseling is the most commonly used method to train the employees while they are on their jobs. Coaching involves the development of one-to-one relationship between the employees and supervisors, which ensures continued guidance and feedback of their employees on how well they are handling their task. The second one is job rotation. It involves the movement of employees from one job to another so that they can attain the understanding of different functions and process of an organization. In addition, to release boredom, it allows employees to build a rapport with a wide range of individuals within the organizations, which further facilitates cooperation among the department. The cross-trained workforce provides the organization a great amount of flexibility when transfers, promotions, and replacement become inevitable. The last one is understudy. Refers to the method in which trainees are prepared to perform the work of or fill the positions of their supervisors. In this technique, a trainee who is likely to assume the full duties and responsibilities of the position currently held by his or her superior is called as understudy. Apprenticeship training. Learning from a skilled individual in a specific area of expertise. Combination of the on-the-job training and the classroom training, wherein the workers earn while learning the skills required to performing the specialized job. It is applicable in the course of architecture. Architecture students, after they graduated, they are required to have their apprenticeship training at a certain firm for 2 years before taking their bar. The next one is job instruction training. It's a systematic approach that deals with all important aspects of introducing a new member to the organization. It can allow a company supervisors to figure out where the weak spots and in their training are very easily. Lecture, a well-known method to train white-collar or managerial level employees in the organization. Under this method, employees are called to the room like that of classroom to give training by trainer in forms of lecture. Programmed learning, a systematic method for teaching job skills involving presenting questions or facts, allowing the person to respond and give the learner immediate feedback on the accuracy of his or her answers. Audiovisual based training. It includes televisions, videotapes, and films are the most effective means of providing real-world conditions and situations in a short time. One advantage is that the presentation is the same no matter how many times it's played. Vestibule training. It is called near-the-job training, which means the simulated setup is established proximate to the main product plant, wherein the technical staff learns how to operate the tools and machinery that may be exactly similar to what we will be using at the actual work floor. Electronic performance support systems. Sets of computerized tools and displays that automate training, documentation, and phone support. Integrate this automation into applications and provide support that's faster, cheaper, and more effective than traditional methods. Video conferencing, popular for training geographically dispersed employees, involves delivering programs via compressed audio and video signals over cable broadband lines, the internet, or satellite. Computer-based training. The trainee uses interactive computer-based and or DVD systems to increase her knowledge or skills. An example, McDonald's developed about 11 different courses for its franchises employees and put the program on DVD. The program consists of graphic supports lessons and require trainees to make choices to show their understanding.
Our next reporter, Pagayan Mark Jivan.
Simulated learning. Simulated learning means different things to different people. The importance of simulated learning is a strategy educator can use not only to teach course concept, but also to provide the students with opportunities to apply new skills, knowledge, and ideas in practice settings that mirrors the real world. Next one is interactive learning. Employees are also moving from textbooks and classroom-based learning to interactive learning. So, how does interactive learning help the student? In addition to engaging the student who are raised in a hyper-simulated environment, interactive learning sharpens critical thinking skills, which are fundamental to the development of analytic reasoning. Internet-based training. Trainers increasingly employed internet-based learning to deliver programs. So, what is the purpose of internet-based training to a student? The purpose of internet-based training to a student is to allow the student to learn their own pace, access the information at a time that is convenient for them, and provides education to remote the students that otherwise would not be able to travel to a classroom. A variety of the technologies are currently being used to deliver education on the internet. Next is improving productivity through HRIS. Learning management system are special software tools that support internet training, helping employers identify training needs, and in scheduling, delivering, assessing, and managing the online training itself. Next one is mobile learning. Mobile learning or on-demand learning means delivering learning content on demand via mobile services like cell phones, laptop, and iPad. Whenever the learners has the time and desire to access it. Next is the virtual classroom. Conventional web-based learning tends to be limited to the sort of online learning with which many students are already familiar reading PowerPoint presentations. Why virtual classrooms is important? Virtual classrooms can supplement existing education structures or to be used as the main structures for imparting knowledge. Virtual classrooms promote inclusive and democratic learning and also help reduce the cost of highly coveted educational courses and certifications. Next is lifelong and literacy training techniques. Lifelong learning means providing employees with continuing learning experiences over their tenures with the firm, with the aim of ensuring they have the opportunities to learn the skills they need to do their job and to expand their horizon. And the last one is team training. Teamwork is not something that always comes naturally. Companies therefore devote many hours to training new employees to listen to each other and to cooperate. Why all of these training programs are important? To employ training and development programs provided a host of benefits. They enhance employee performance, boost employee productivity, reduce employee turnover, and provide company culture. To the students, a training program gives everyone the opportunity to strengthen those skills. Training gives everyone a great understanding of the responsibilities and knowledge and skills they need to do the job. This will enhance their confidence, which can also improve their overall performance.